This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment and educational purposes only, and anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, the banks are in deep, deep trouble. And even though they got that rate cut, it does not save them. It gives them a little leeway. It takes a little pressure off them, but the banks are still in trouble. And if the banks are in trouble, then the bad actors, naked shorting AMC, naked shorting GME, and naked shorting other stocks are in trouble also. These banks like to put the focus on the national debt. The national debt is about $35 trillion. But these same banks that are complaining about the national debt have more than the national debt in derivatives. JP Morgan has 57 trillion in derivatives. Goldman Sachs has 55 trillion in derivatives. Citibank has 51 trillion in derivatives. This is debt. This is debt. A majority of these derivatives are naked. Okay? They didn't put up no collateral for a lot of these derivatives. This is naked derivatives. And I'm not telling you to buy, hold, or sell any stock, or use a bank or not use a bank. What I'm telling you is that with derivatives higher than the national debt of an entire country, how dare they talk about the national debt? JP Morgan has no standing to talk about the national debt. Neither does Citibank, neither does Goldman Sachs, neither does any of those big banks that are holding all those derivatives. It's absolutely crazy that they want to be so concerned about the national debt when the three biggest banks in the United States of America are holding more derivative individually than the United States debt. It's absolutely crazy. The banks are hanging on by their fingernails. And the reason that they're hanging on by their fingernails is because of the SEC. Had the SEC stepped in and stopped these bad actors before it got so out of control, we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in right now. I mean, Chase, 57 trillion in derivatives. Goldman, 55 trillion in derivatives. Citibank, 51 trillion in derivatives. It's absolutely crazy. And a majority of these derivatives are naked. We're talking swaps. We're talking FTDs. And the thing is, the SEC knows, the DOJ knows, the FBI knows, but they allow it to continue because they let the situation get so out of control that when it crashes, it can bring down the whole global economy. They're trying to figure a way to get around it without bringing down the economy. And me personally, I don't see how that's going to happen. One of these banks are more than likely going to have to be absorbed into another bank, or it's going to crash and burn. It's going to crash and burn. And in my opinion, this is all the fault of the SEC refusing to rein in the bad actors when they started creating billions of counterfeit shares, when they started doing the credit swaps, when they started doing all the nonsense that brought down Archegos. The SEC knew about it, the DOJ knew about it, the FBI knew about it, and they still allowed it to happen. And the only reason at this point that I believe they're allowing it to continue, because they don't have a choice, because the situation is so out of control. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think the banks have any standing to talk about the national debt when the top six banks are holding over 200 trillion in derivatives that they don't have the funds to close, they don't have the assets to close them? Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.